The National Football League season begins tonight with a good game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. Before I kick it to Steve, big shout out to New York for passing the legalized betting this week. I spent so much time in New York, Steve. I can never bet when I'm at these at the fights. When I get in a college football game, now I can. When's that going to start? I know you probably know some of the particulars, like February or something.
Yeah, it's coming faster than we think, and it's going to be so much fun. You'll be at Madison Square Garden, or in Brook fights, you'll be able to wager on your phone, and we'll get some of that good pizza up there in Brooklyn at Scar's Pizza, one of my favorite spots up there. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. New York has finally got it coming. I mean, I don't know how it's going to affect Atlantic City's numbers, but it's definitely going to affect them a little bit because people are crossing over that bridge up there in North Jersey coming over. So it should be some fun, man.
Was that something Cuomo put on the docket before they threw him out?
He's Italian. He ain't perverted, but he's Italian.
There you have it. Just let me throw it over to get things started to the Philly Godfather.
All right, let's get this party started. I want to thank the 3,000 people that watched the show again last week. Hopefully you guys made some money. The usual suspects are back on the show today. Follow the action. We got Dave Mason from Bet Online. We got Maddie from the College Kids, the 8 Ball, the legendary Philly Rooster. Jimmy Sheepatisa's coming on. We got Batman at Gotham City Vig, and of course my buddy Mark Abrams. But let's get right down to business. Dave Mason from Bet Online. Let's go right to game 241, 242 on your sports betting screen. Jacksonville with the shocker last week. Double-digit point spread underdog. Beat Buffalo outright 9-6 in a game that no one, I don't care who you are, no one handicapped that the Jacksonville Jags were going to win last week. This week they go to travel to Indianapolis. The game opened up 10.5, still basically 10.5 in the market. At Bet Online, I'm seeing 10.5 minus 104. Totals at 47.5. Dave Mason from Bet Online. Is everyone suddenly jumping on the Jags this week?
Not everyone, but a majority of the early actions on the it's pretty split. Like 57% of the early bettors are on the Jags. 71% on the over, so nothing too sharp. It's not getting a lot of early action, so it's take those numbers with a grain of salt. It's definitely one of the least bet games on the Sunday betting board as of this moment.
Let's go to Philly Rooster first. He's been smoking hot in college football. He's tearing up the NBA. Rooster, are you looking to bet the dog here, or do you like the favorite?
Well, I was kind of leaning favorite here. I mean, Jacksonville's coming off what you can consider their Super Bowl last week, which was a miracle win, had no chance of winning, and somehow pulled it off. I mean, there was a lot of factors in that game when I went back and rewatched it. But now they're saying that Carson Wentz was sick today. Very little detail from what I could dig up. And I know this guy. If he gets a hangnail, we know from Philly that he just doesn't play well. It's crazy. He uses it as an excuse. He's about as tough as a feather. So I'm a little concerned about that, but I do lean favorite on this game. I think the Jags coming off a really emotional win. They acted like they won the Super Bowl, which scared me when it happened to the Rams against Tampa Bay, and turned out to be true the following week. Lean Colts, but didn't do anything yet.
Well, I heard Urban Meyer didn't go to the strip joint all week, and that's why the Jags played so well.
There you go.
It's just rumors.
I think he gets a hall pass this week, no?
He probably gets one every other week. I don't know. But let's go to Sheep's not on yet. He said he's coming on. We never know he's Sheep. The internet's got him a little twisted. But let's go to 8 Ball first. 8 Ball, you got an opinion on the side or a total here?
I don't love a side in this game. I do love the under here. Colts have a great run defense. I think they're going to shut down the run game for the Jags. Force, what's his name? Trevor Lawrence to throw the ball. I think the Colts are going to get an early lead in this one, run the ball here, and lean under the 47. If I had to take a side, I like the Jags plus 10.5. Division game, I'm getting double-digit points. I think it's the right side.
You know what I like? I like that hoodie you got on. Who's that, Aaron Rodgers?
Yes, it is.
All right, let's go to Batman at Gotham City Vig. He's tearing up the UFC, football, you name it. He's been on fire. How are you betting this one, Batman?
This is kind of an interesting matchup. And, I saw the same thing Rooster saw today. And, I got to know if Carson Wentz is playing, right? How can we even consider this game if Carson, Wentz doesn't play? It's a big number, but, if you look at the metrics of, this game was basically 10 versus, the Jets last time, right? So, are the Jets or the Jags worse? It was the same point spread. To me, the Jags are way worse than the Jets, in my opinion, across the board. So I think Indy's the play here at -10 or better. If I had to bet it, it would be the Colts -10 for me.
Let me go to Maddie from the College Kids. You got an opinion on the side or a total here?
Yeah, I'm with all the guys here. I do like the Colts minus the 10. I haven't bet it yet, but it's very important. I got to find out what's going on with Wentz first before I make my wager. So I haven't made it yet. But as soon as I find out some info, I'll probably be taking the Colts.
I'm with the 8 ball here. I definitely like the under. I haven't bet a side yet, but I definitely like that under. You can still find 48 in the market. Go under 48, man. I think that's it. Be able to cash a ticket. All right, let's go. Next game on the screen, 243, 244. Cleveland travels to New England. Dave Mason from Bet Online. It opened 3. It's down to, I see 1 -25 at Bet Online. Total from 44.5 to 45. How are they betting this one, Dave?
New England, 60% of their early actions on New England. Like you said, -1, -125. 57% on the under, 45. Nothing too sharp yet.
Rooster, you going with Bill Belichick here, or do you think the fraud Baker Mayfield's got a shot here on the road?
I'm heavy on the Patriots already. I laid one on this game. I gave it out to all my subscribers. It was my first NFL play. I think I gave it out Tuesday morning early. I actually laid some pick and then laid one. I think we're going to see threes on this game. I might play a little middle, but I like the Patriots here.
Let me go to 8 ball first. 8 ball, does Cleveland have a shot here of winning this game or covering the spread?
I like New England here. I think they're starting to figure out who they are. They're a really good running team. Mac Jones hasn't been making mistakes. Great offensive line play, and the defense is one of the best in football. When you look at Cleveland, to me, they're hit or miss. One game they're going to lose to the Steelers, which, they were a favorite. The next game they come out, they take out the Bengals. They're too inconsistent for me right now. I know what I'm getting with New England. I think at home they're the right side here.
Let me go to Matt from the College Kid. Matt, who do you like here?
This game's a tough game for me. A big player for the Browns is Conklin on that right side of that offensive line. I know J.C. Treader, he's been on the injury report. So it's tough for me. I originally looked at the Browns, but I haven't made my decision yet. This game's a tough one. I respect Rooster. He's on New England. I respect 8 ball in New England. I got to wait and see on this game. Batman,
who are you looking to fire on here?
Well, the big thing for me is Mr. Chubb playing. I got to know it. I will tell you that the Cleveland Browns defense is the healthiest it's been the entire year, and they showed out last week. All of their starters for the first time played last week, and they looked awesome on the defensive side. If Chubb plays, I got to give this game a second look. If he doesn't play, and they can't run the football, and then they're going to force Baker Mayfield to throw it down the field, I probably like New England in this game if that happens. So big injury play for me to see what happens on Sunday morning.
Yeah, you bring up a good point because Chubb, to me, he's so much of that offensive production of their numbers. And he's actually more important to the Cleveland Browns than I think Derrick Henry is to the Tennessee Titans. And when he doesn't play, it's a tough game for them. I
agree.
If he plays, I'm probably going to be on Cleveland. If he doesn't, I'm not touching the game. I think it's a coin flip. I think the last time Cleveland beat New England in New England, I think Bill Belichick was coaching that Cleveland team. It's tough beating New England at home here. Let's go to the next game on the board, 245, 246. Atlanta looking good lately, going up against the Cowboys, who lost as 10-point favorites against the Broncos last week. Game opened up 9.5. I'm seeing some 9.5. I'm seeing it's all over the place, anywhere from 9 to 10, depending on where you shop. Bet online 9 minus 105, 106. Totals at 54.5. Dave Mason, how are they betting this one?
Another game getting kind of even action, about 56% of the early actions on Atlanta. 69% is on the over. We did take some sharp action on over 53. Like you said, it's currently 54.5.
Rooster, you looking to back the boys here, or you think the Falcons are going to do them dirty?
Well, I feel like at this point I might have to put my square hat on here. But, again, I like the favorite. I think this line's too low. Atlanta, I feel like they've been overperforming the last couple of weeks, and they're going to come into who they really are, which is going to be a losing team for the season. The Cowboys coming off a crazy defeat that nobody can explain. I think Dak is just getting his legs under him. I think he's going to be a lot better this week. There was a lot of talk in Dallas. I was talking to our boy Layfield. Dallas Sports Radio is talking all kind of crap on the Cowboys now. They turn quick just like they do in Philly, and I think Cowboys come out with a strong performance. I'm looking for a blowout here.
Wow. Let me go to 8 Ball. 8 Ball, do you feel the same way, or do you like the Falcons?
I like the Cowboys here. This is the best offense Atlanta's played since they played Tampa Bay. You saw their secondary get burned there. I don't think they have enough, defensive secondary corner safeties to cover these guys this week. I think Rooster's right here. The Cowboys win this and cover the number.
Maddie from the College Kids, who do you like?
I'm liking the Cowboys, but big injury for me to watch out for is Tyron Smith. Anytime he's not playing for that team, they always have a tough time. We saw it last week. And another big thing is they lost Randy Gregory, so I think they're out now. Lawrence and Gregory, two of their top defensive ends, which is big. But I do like the Cowboys, but I do want to see if it plays.
Batman, how do you feel about this matchup?
I think that Diggs is going to match up with Pitts. I think Atlanta is going to have a hard time moving the football. And I think that Dallas runs them out of Dallas Stadium with Jerry Jones whipping them as the Falcons get on the bus.
You like that? You like the over at all? I mean, it's been moving. It's kind of high. It's up to 54.5.
Yeah, I don't really. I just don't. I think the Dallas defense is going to shut down Atlanta. I think that they have two key guys, and the more film they get on these two key guys running, Dallas should be able to stop them on the defensive side, in my opinion. I bet it at -8, 8.5, and then 9, and I might go back for some more because I think they're going to wipe them off the face this weekend.
All right, let's go back to Dave Mason from Bet Online. Buffalo travels. They're going to the Jets here. Line opened up. Buffalo on the road, 13.5-point favorites. I'm seeing 13, 12.5 at Bet Online. Totals at 47.5. Is there any way the Jets win this game, and how is the public betting it?
Public's back on Buffalo, despite the public getting murdered on this game last week. On Buffalo last week, 63% early action on the Bills -12.5. And 54% is on the under 47.5. Nothing too sharp yet.
Rooster, you taking the dog here? Home dog?
I do lean dog, although, as we all do, we all talk to about 100 people a week. And one of the guys I really respect is on the Bills here. So I'm going to shy away from the side, but I really like the under here. 47 is a key number. There were some 48s out there earlier in the week. I should have went under then. I waited. But I'm going to hit under 47.5 here. I already bet it small. I think I'm going to increase my bet. I think it's going to be low scoring. Jets are going to have a tough time moving the ball. And I think a roadmap was built last week for the Bills, kind of like what happened with the Chiefs. And I don't think they're going to be as high-flying moving forward the rest of this season.
Let me go to 8 Ball. 8 Ball, who do you like here?
I don't really love a side in this one. If I had to lean somewhere, I think Buffalo takes this game and covers a number. But I do love the under here. They held Jacksonville to 9 points. Defense is playing great all year. I don't think the Jets are going to be able to hold the Bills, a certain amount of points here. I like the under 47.5 here if you can find it. And the Bills will cover this number, though I don't think it's a strong move.
Maddie from the College Kids. You going to take Buffalo here, or you like the Jets?
I haven't touched it, but Buffalo is looking appetizing. I know it's a square play. I know everyone's on it, but, man, it's hard for me to bet on these Jets, even though Mike White has impressed me. Yeah, as of right now, I lean Buffalo.
Batman, Mike White. Is he a Capes Crusader? Can he come into town and bring out that magic in this Jets team, or what?
Well, even though I have my purple Joker hat on today, shout out to Chrome Hearts, LA Laker color there. We'll get into that later. The New York Jets have the worst defense in the NFL. This is a get-right spot for Mr. Allen. There is no Josh Allen on the Jets defensive team this week, thank God. I think the Buffalo Bills smoke them out of this stadium. I think the Jets are going to have a really hard time scoring in this game. Buffalo is a really good team. They got a little high on the metrics, became kind of the favorite for the Super Bowl, been kind of knocked down with that a little bit. I think you're going to see them show up and show out. If I got to play a side, it's Buffalo 12.5, and their defensive metrics here are through the roof in this game. I'd bet the Jets team total under, and I would also bet 47.5 under 2 as well.
Let's go back to Dave Mason from Bet Online. Saints travel to Tennessee. The whole world's probably betting Tennessee. 2.5s, 3s out there in the market. Bet Online's at 2.5 at 44. How's the public betting this one? Is there any sharp money on the side or a total, Dave?
Yeah, public's on Tennessee. It's not too one side, not as one side as I thought it would be, but we got a lot of most of the action yet to come in over the next 3 days. About 63% of the early actions on Tennessee. The sharps are on the other side though. Sharps took Saints +3. That's why it's down to 2.5, and 57% on the under.
Brewster, this Tennessee team, if you look at their metrics and you look at their record, I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but they just keep winning. They don't give a shit what their numbers are, what their metrics are. They don't care what anyone thinks about them. They keep winning. I mean, how are they winning these games, and are they going to win again this week and cover the spread?
Well, it's funny, and I've noticed this for years in sports, and it doesn't matter the sport, and I can't figure it out. But when these teams lose a major player like Derrick Henry, or even a coach, or an assistant coach, or somebody major, it seems to me they always can figure out a way to get through one game. And then reality sits in the following week. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. That Titans deep offense went straight through Derrick Henry. They had to change everything they did. They grabbed Adrian Peterson. I saw him at the old folks home 2 weeks ago. He's not running anywhere. I'll be surprised if he makes it in the stadium. He took 2 hits last week. I was scared to death he was going to, turn into brittle. I like the Saints here. I like them to win this game, actually. I bet them on the money line.
Godfather, we're joined by the sheep. He's here.
Oh, Sheepy Weepy, what do you got to say about that? Who do you like? You like the Saints or you like the Titans?
He's frozen, though.
Here we go.
You set me up.
That's because he owes me 4 pepperoni pizzas from last week.
Before he chimes in, before he ends up
he put the mush on Dallas last week like I couldn't believe. Dallas is still wondering what happened. I know what happened. The sheep curse.
Let me go to 8 Ball, see if we get Sheep on a little bit. 8 Ball, who do you like here? You like the Saints or you think Tennessee keeps rolling?
I like the Saints here. They have one of the best run defenses in the NFL. I think they're going to shut down the Titans' running game, force them to pass the ball. They also have a solid secondary. I think the Saints +3 and outright.
There you go. Let me go to Matty from the College Kids. Matt, do you feel the same way or do you like Tennessee?
Take the Saints +3 and take the money line, just like 8 Ball said.
Oh, boy. Batman, you going to make it a consensus?
I had 2 pre-buys this week. This was my first, as I had it. The Saints lead in point differential. They lead in DVOA on both offense and defense, which I was really surprised to see. People are going to look at that Atlanta Falcons game in last week and get a little bit mixed up with what the Saints really are from that performance. +3 is Gothalinium. The money line is Platinum. And I like the Tennessee Titans team total under for a little, quadraminium, if we'll call it.
Real quickly, one of our listeners wants to know if Batman's got a college basketball future really quick.
I'm waiting for the Philly Godfather to do that video. We're going to try to do it together and release it.
There you go, Kevin. So wait for the video.
Real
Saints
quick.
money line. Saints money line. Points are for pussies in this one. You don't need them. Saints on the money line. Take them plus the points.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Sheep just texted me. He said Saints big, Saints +3 and money line.
Oh God. All right, let's go back to Dave Mason. Where the fuck you at, Sheep? Dave Mason from Bet Online. What's next up? Tampa Bay at Washington. Game's up to 9.5, 10 even money at Bet Online. Totals up to 51. We should see some points in this one. Dave, how are they betting this one? Is there any sharp money on the side or a total?
Yeah, Bucks over. It's going to be a big one. 75% of the early actions on the Bucks, and 61% on the over. Nothing too sharp yet.
Rooster, how you going to bet this one? You like the dog here at home?
Yeah, I'm back to my underdog ways in this one. The Bucks don't really blow many teams out, number one. Number two, Washington has severely underperformed. We all liked Washington. They got a stacked team. Their defense is fast. I think they're going to get some pressure on Brady here. We all know what he does when he gets pressure. He just does enough to barely win the game. I'm going to take 10 at home here.
So you like Washington? You think this game goes over? Think they put up some points or what?
I mean, 51 is the key number right here. It's right about where I think it should be. I probably won't touch the total. If it creeps down, I hit over 50.5. If it creeps up, probably hit under. I mean, I lean under, but I always lean under for some reason.
All right, let's go to Matty from the College Kids. Matt, you going with Tom Brady or you going with this real bad Washington team taking 10 points at home?
I bet Washington too many times and gotten burned too many times. I have to go with Tampa Bay. I mean, Washington, I can't keep on getting burned. Like, they got to be on the do not bet list by now. So, yeah, I lean Brady.
It's so crazy because they've been in the red zone so many times and come away with not even a field goal, with like 0 points. Something always happens.
And they burned me on the side and the total, like on both. So this team is like,
they're hard to
I got to put them on the do not bet list. Yeah.
They're hard to bet. Let me go to 8-Ball. 8-Ball. You like anybody here?
I don't really love this game, but had to take a side. I think Washington's the right side here. Obviously, they need to get pressure on Brady. They need to get it early, stay in this game. I think they have enough weapons on offense to score some points on that secondary that's still, a little banged up for Tampa. Tampa's coming off a bye week, so I do think they come out a little slow. Washington can jump on them here. Washington plus 10 if it gets there.
Batman, how you going to bet this one, man?
Points are for pussies. I bet the Washington money line.
Let's go. Let's go.
I've really studied the injury reports this week because it's really important. They are getting a ton of players back on the Washington team. They have so underperformed. There has to be a balance out for this team at some point. There has to be. There's all these people in the market that are smart, and the smartest guy had them in the Super Bowl. There is no way they can continue to underperform. These teams have underperformed coming off the bye. The Redskins are now healthy, very healthy on offense. I mean, I think this is their week. I'm going to bet it. I bet the 10. I bet the over a 50 when it popped, and I bet the money line too as well.
It's called a big balls alert. Big balls alert.
Godfather, we just got a couple things about Sheep. One guy just compared him to Charlie from Charlie's Angels. I guess never seen but heard. And then our guy Frazier here wants to get up a GoFundMe account to get him better internet.
Well, another guy told me he looks like Whitey Bulger. He's starting to look just like Whitey Bulger. So he sent me a picture of both of them right next to each other. It was fucking hilarious.
Hey, don't talk bad about Cricket Wireless.
Earlier, I was at the airport after the Northern Colorado game he gave out last night. I was like, wow. I mean, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, I took Washington 70-1. I mean, it was a long shot, right? They're supposed to be stacked. Their defense was supposed to be great. They're supposed to be playing in a weak NFC East, and the Cowboys have been playing lights out. So it was a long shot, but I didn't expect them to play this bad. But I like them this week. Plus 10 at home. It's a big number. Tampa Bay's still not 100% on the defensive side of the ball. I like Washington there, plus 10. All right, let's go to the next game on the board, Detroit. At Pittsburgh. 9, 8's in the market, 8.5. Bet online still 9 plus 04, 42.5. Dave Mason, is there any sharp money on the side, and how's the public betting this one?
Nothing sharp. Public's on Detroit. 76% of the early actions on the Lions. 56% is on the under. Currently 42.5.
Rooster, how are you going to bet this one? You taking Pittsburgh here?
No, I like Detroit here a lot. Big Ben's hurt, and I saw it before he came out and said it. I don't know if you remember, like the last 2 weeks I've been saying it. He looks like Lurch. The guy can't move.
Yeah.
And last week when I watched the game, he came out strong. And then all of a sudden, about the middle of the second quarter, he completely fell apart and couldn't move. And at the end of the game, they tried to protect that lead, and they couldn't. And at the end of the game, he came out and said, I've been hurt for 3 weeks.
It looks like that medicine was wearing off in the second quarter they give him, you know?
They also got a lot of help from the guys in stripes at the end of that game last week.
Oh, it was unbelievable. I've never seen officiating like that. It was absolutely amazing that
Even
they
when
held
Bad
them
Bass
in that
involved.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, at least
It was
Batman's
great.
ref made it look good. They
I
couldn't
was
find
trying to
one
get
bad.
Baba on the phone, asking him if something was going on that I didn't know about.
You know,
That-
going back on that Batman thing, I think I remember hearing like they watched a couple hundred hours of film and there wasn't one phantom call. Like it was all real
Yeah.
fouls. But in that freaking NFL game, I mean, those calls were so atrocious.
That taunting call, and then they slow mode it. Didn't the ref hip check the guy on the way off the field?
He
No.
did, but that was nothing. I could even live with that. How about the no call on the roughing the passers? That
Oh,
there was
terrible.
3 in a row.
Man.
That was sick. Anyway, I love the Lions here. I think they can win this game. I'm betting the money line heavy.
Hey, big balls alert, money line. Let's go to 8 Ball. 8 Ball, who do you like in this one?
I love the Lions +9. I think they bring one of their best games of the year here. They played the Ravens tough earlier this season. I think it's going to be a similar game where they have a chance to win this game outright. We took the Lions +9 earlier this week.
Maddie from the college kids, who do you like?
Yeah, Big Ben, he's dealing with the injury. He hasn't been the same all year, and Frank hasn't been the same the last 2 years. This Steelers team, as good as they, been doing, I don't think they're that good of a team. Look at the Lions, and I think they got a shot here. I just think Pittsburgh shouldn't be laying that many points. I like the +9.
Let me go to Batman. Batman,
Yeah.
what'd you say you're doing on this one?
I just want to know one thing. This is the only weather game of the weekend. It's supposed to be 31 degrees in Pittsburgh. It looks to me that Jared Goff's a little soft. Does he want to be standing out there at 0-9 with his hands outside of his pocket playing football? I don't know, man. I don't know. I got to tell you, I have not bet this game yet. The total tells me, I think it's Pitt in the under. Personally, I have not bet it, but I just think that Pittsburgh has them covered everywhere, in my opinion. I think the pass rush has not been good, but the Detroit Lions offensive front is so bad. I think this is the first game you're going to see Pitt have 5 or 6 sacks on and really dominate the line of scrimmage. It would be Pitt or nothing for me, but I haven't bet it yet.
Well, usually in bad weather games, the dogs are always live. I want to see closer to game time how bad the weather actually is, how high the wind gusts are. We've seen it so many times in the past where you see these bad weather games and these dogs play it close or they end up winning the game outright. So I didn't touch the game yet. All right, let's go back to Dave Mason from Bet Online, game 255, 256. Minnesota travels out to LA to play the Chargers, 4:00 game. Line's right now around 3 minus 17.53 at Bet Online. Is there any sharp money on the side or a total here? And how's the public betting it, Dave?
Yeah, some sharp stuff on the Chargers at -2.5. Public's on the Chargers as well. This is going to be a big one. It looks like about 80% of the action is on the Chargers, and 81% is on the over 53.
Bruce, are you taking the road dog here? Who are you taking?
I laid some 2.5 -20. I'm going to take back 4 if I can. This is just a middle game for me. The total's sitting 53. If it goes up to 54, I'll definitely be going under. But nothing game. I think this line is right on the number.
All right, let's go to 8 Ball. 8 Ball. You like the Chargers here?
I like the Vikings here +3. You saw the Eagles run the ball all over that Chargers defense last week. I think the Vikings going to do the same this week. The Chargers are also dealing with injuries in their secondary. Asante Samuel's questionable. I think Michael Davis is still questionable. If they don't play, the Vikings also have that advantage. The wide receivers, Thielen, Jefferson against those corners. And Kirk Cousins playing the best football of his career right now. 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, so he's not making any mistakes. I think the Vikings steal this one.
Maddie from the college kids, who do you like?
I agree with 8 Ball. I think Minnesota's going to be able to run that ball. But I also do think the Chargers and Herbert, they're going to be able to move the ball as well. The total's at 53.5. I think, it's moved, but I still like over 53 before the number 54. I'm liking that over right now.
Yeah, Minnesota definitely has some injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Batman, did you bet it yet? And who do you like?
My second pre-buy, I love it. I bet Minnesota +3.5. I bought it to 4 -120. They win this game outright. They're going to run it down their throats. The Chargers defense is the most overrated unit in the NFL, and this is the perfect spot for the Vikings to get it right. Give me Minnesota all day to the moon.
There you go there. You like the total at all or no?
I don't like the total, but I like the Vikings in this game a lot. I think it's a great spot for them. I'm with the 8, and I'm with Maddie. 100%.
All right, let's go back to Dave Mason from Bet Online. Carolina travels to Arizona. 10 points. It's basically painted 10 across your screen, 44 everywhere. Dave, how are they betting this one?
Carolina, about 61% of the early actions on the Panthers, getting 10, and 81% is on the over. Nothing too sharp.
Nothing sharp yet. Rooster.
Nah, sir.
You're pretty sharp, Rooster. Who do you like here?
I like the Panthers here, plus 10.5. I mean, I've been waiting for the fall of Arizona the entire year. I still think they're overperforming. I don't know if Murray's going to be 100%. I know the Panthers have a lot of issues. Don't get me wrong, but I think they cover 10.5 on this game. It's not a big bet for me, but I'm definitely taking the 10.5.
8-ball, you think the Panthers can cover the spread with what's their quarterback? PJ Wheeler? What's his name? What the hell's his name?
PJ Walker, former Temple guy.
Yeah,
They
PJ
signed,
Walker.
Well,
They
well,
just signed Cam Newton today, so I'm not sure who they're going to go with this weekend. But I like the under here. You have two really good defenses, and I don't think Murray's going to be playing this week. He didn't practice today, so I think the under 44 is the right side here. We took under 45 earlier in the week.
All right, so we got PJ Texas Walker starting at quarterback. Matt from the college kids. Who do you like?
Yeah, this game's a little weird for me. I mean, we have PJ Walker and maybe Cam Newton. I don't know. And then on the other side, we have the backup quarterback because I don't think Kyler's going to play. We'll see.
well,
I mean,
maybe the Cardinals will sign Neil Lomax to make it easy,
Neil Lomax.
make it even.
Well, you know what? What was it? Colt McCoy played last week for them. He looked good, man.
he did.
Yeah, but while we're signing old quarterbacks, why don't the Cardinals do one too while they're at it?
You might as well bring back Ty Detmer too.
Tim Rosenball.
So who do you like? You think Carolina's got a shot, man?
Now, I'm just staying off the game right now. There's too many maybes, ifs right now for me.
All right, let's go to Batman. Batman, you like anybody here?
Yeah, I think the first game always, for Colt McCoy is good. I think you'll have a little regression here, in my opinion. If I had to take a side, it'd be Carolina 10.5. I don't have much in this game. I'm kind of with the other boys. I lean Carolina, and I definitely lean the under a 44.5 for sure.
Well, I mean, the way they've been outperforming the market, it's definitely, from a market perspective, I think you got a shot with Carolina here plus the 10.5. They're bound to have a dip. They're bound to underperform a little bit, like Rooster said. They've been playing lights out. This might be a bad spot for them. All right, let's go to the next game on the board. Game 259-260. Seattle gets Russ back. Packers. 3.5 in the market. 3 minus 25 at Bet Online. 49.5, which feels a little light to me, a little short. Dave Mason, is there any sharp money on either side of the total here?
Seahawks got some sharp action with all the Wilson stuff. And the public's on the Seahawks as well. 63% of the actions on Seattle. 71 is on the under 9.5.
All right. Sheep just texted me. Minnesota +3 large, and Green Bay -3 large and over 48. Rooster, how do you feel about Sheep's opinion there?
I feel better about Seattle now. Look, Aaron Rodgers is great, but he's walking into this game cold after, 10, 12 days. And one day of practice, they're going to have a walkthrough. He's not going to take any snaps. I know he's Superman. We all agree. But Russ is back. I like Seattle on the road here, +3.5.
Let me go to Batman. Batman, isn't Aaron Rodgers supposed to take the test like Saturday night in the parking lot or something? He can't even go. What if you think he still tests positive? He's got to be over it already, isn't he?
Yeah, great question, man. There's been some really funny tests. I guess it depends on if they do a rapid or the regular, right? I'm sure they're going to probably do a rapid because it's a little bit less sensitive, right? I mean, I'm sure you're going to get somebody.
Yeah, they want to make him pay.
Slapping sticks, switching sticks with him. You know what I mean? I think this game has one thing. Does he play or not? I mean, we all know that if he doesn't play, that Seattle plus the 3 or 3.5 is absolute, burial. I will tell you, I think if he plays, I think this is too short. I really do. I think you're going to see Green Bay cover. I think he loves playing against the Seattle zone defense. I think he chews them up in this game if he plays, win or lose. You got to remember, man, Russell Wilson hasn't played. This finger is bad. It's never going to be as strong this year. It's going to affect him 100%. I mean, Green Bay -3 if Aaron Rodgers plays is an absolute burial, in my opinion.
All right. My buddy Eric Hauser chimed in from Fox Sports. He said Sheep had better internet connection when he was down in Columbia when we used to do that 610 ESPN radio show. And I think he's got a point. Shout out to Eric Hauser. Where we go next? 8-Ball. Who you like here?
Got to wait till Sunday to see if Rodgers plays. But if he plays, I like Green Bay here. Russ hasn't played in a couple weeks. To be honest, I think he's coming back a little early. The original injury had him out a lot longer. So I think Seattle's going to run the ball here, play conservative. I don't think they're going to force Russell. And if they do, I think he is going to throw a couple of interceptions here. I like Green Bay at home if Aaron Rodgers plays.
Yeah, Green Bay's defense has been vicious, man. I didn't think they were going to be this good, and they've been kicking some ass. Let me go to Matty from the College Kids. Who do you like, Matt?
Yeah, I'm with Batman and the guy who's wearing the Aaron Rodgers hoodie right now, 8-Ball. I like Green Bay -3, especially if Rodgers plays. I mean, even Love did a good job when he played. I think even with Love, they have a good shot. But yeah, if Rodgers plays, I love this play.
All right, let's go back to Dave Mason from BetOnline. Our beloved Philadelphia Eagles travel to Denver. 1.5 opened up. I'm seeing some 2.5s out there. Is there some sharp money on Denver driving that line, Dave?
Not with us, there isn't. Public's on Denver, about 60 action so far is on the Broncos. 72% on the over.
Rooster, you taking the Birds this week or what?
I do lean Birds. Not a big play at all. Both of these teams, you don't know who you're getting until the game starts. I like Denver. I rode them. They lost me a lot of money this year. The Eagles, I knew to stay off. They actually made me some money betting against them. But these two shit teams, to me, is a no bet. Just watch the game and enjoy.
Well, if the Broncos come out this week like they came out last week, the Eagles are in fucking trouble, man.
They're done. Yeah, that's what I mean. But what Broncos team are we going to get?
Yeah, that pass rush was getting the fucking dag. They just did a number on them. And all those trash points at the end for the Cowboys really didn't mean nothing. Tough place to play, Denver. I mean, it's a real tough place to play. Let me go to Batman first. Batman, you like anybody here?
I know where I should play. I just can't press the button, man. I know the Eagles are the sharp side. I feel like at 2.5, that Denver's the right side at that number. If it's 3 or better, it's probably Philly for me. I don't like how Philly has traveled and played football. I just don't like it. It's that simple. I that's my opinion. So I don't have much in this game. We'll kind of see what happens going up there. Denver's got some real injuries in the defensive side. I want to see who plays. If those defensive injuries become, prominent, then this might be a Philly play at 3 or better.
You there, Batman?
Yeah, I just gave you did you hear my thing?
Yeah, I heard some of it, but then it broke up. Okay, so who do you like there?
Yeah, no, I just said that, depending on the defensive injuries, if Denver's defensive injuries kind of pan out the way they are, I lean Philly plus the 3. But if some of the guys on the defensive side show up and play the game for Denver, the 2.5 line would be good, depending on the injuries on Sunday.
8-Ball game was played on a neutral field. Are the Eagles better?
I love Denver here. Their defense only giving up, I think, their second in opponent points per game, so they're playing really good defense. Meanwhile, you look at the Eagles' defense; they're giving up 81% completion percentage to opponents. Teddy Bridgewater doesn't make many mistakes. I think he's going to take what the defense gives him, and at home, laying 2.5. I think that's right side here.
Matty from the College Kids, who do you like?
Yeah, Denver. I mean, if the guys on the injury report for Denver do end up playing, I got to go with Denver. I mean, we've seen what the Eagles bring, and we've seen their coaching really just been their fault this year. So I really do like Denver. I like Teddy Bridgewater, and I like betting on better quarterbacks as well. So I think Teddy Bridgewater is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts at this time. But I think those injuries on the defensive side for the Broncos is going to be big for me.
Yeah, I like the Broncos here. I think they put up some points. I actually like the over 45. Let's go next game on the screen, 263-264, Kansas City versus Vegas. Surprisingly, Kansas City's a favorite here. I mean, I think the wrong team's favorite. Let me go to Dave Mason from BetOnline. How are they betting this one, man?
KC so far, 61% of the early actions on KC. Currently minus 2.5, minus 118. 55% on the over.
Rooster, all the issues the Raiders are having. But I still think they're the better team. You like Kansas City here? You like Vegas?
This is my first stone cold lock of the season. Take everything you've won so far this year and put it on the Chiefs. This line is completely wrong. LA is imploding, the entire team. When they first lost Gruden, it seemed like a good thing. They had a good game. Then players are waving around guns, driving 160 miles an hour in 35-mile-an-hour zones, killing people left and right. This team is completely imploding. They don't even know what to do. Like the coaching staff must be like having secret meetings saying, "How do I get out of this mess?"
Didn't they just put an ex-Crypt on the team?
This is crazy. I'm telling you, the Chiefs are a stone cold mortal lock.
Oh man, I don't know about that. Let me go to 8 Ball. 8 Ball, who do you like?
I don't really love a side here. The Chiefs are playing some better football. They're going to make a run for playoffs. I like the over in this one. I think, Vegas at home in a dome. You add in Deshaun Jackson. I think just one of those atmospheres where this game goes over. Both quarterbacks play a great game here. I like the over in this one.
Maddie from the College Kids, who do you like?
Yeah, the Chiefs against the spread haven't been that great this year. I think they start,
They haven't
covering
been that
that
great for like
spread.
the past year, Matt. They're horrible against the spread, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I do like Mahomes here. I think they take out Vegas. I think Vegas has some problems, as Rooster said. And KC, I think they're going to make a run for the playoffs, or try to at least. And I like KC minus 2.5.
I mean, all Kansas City has to do is win by a field goal. It seems to me like the books are begging for Kansas City money. Batman, how are you betting this one?
Well, I guess I better go to the bank and get a loan because I bet the opposite side. Rooster,
We got opposition.
I love the opposition. I love it. It's like next week I get to talk
I tried
shit.
to call the hotline for that big spread you gave us. It wasn't open. Well, and you know what? I mean, Kansas City, here's the thing I see personally. If you look at first off, if you look at the performance of Derek Carr against the Chiefs, he has had big time success against that defense. Big time. Last week was their first time that Kansas City's held a team under a reasonable point total, and it was for one reason. They blitzed every play on a guy that's never played in the NFL. If they do that to Derek Carr, he will murder them in this game. I bet the Vegas Raiders at +3. I hammered it, and that's what I like this week.
Yeah, he's having an MVP type of season, Derek Carr, man. He's gotten so much better. Now, Henry Ruggs hurts you a little bit because he stretches the field and he plays almost every down. With Deshaun Jackson, I mean, once they put him in the game, they know what's going on. It's not like you're going to fool the defense, but there's not that much of a drop-off. The drop-off is, Henry Ruggs plays on a lot more snaps. This one's tough, man. I think the team that has the ball last wins the game and covers the spread. I kind of like Vegas here, +3. I'm with 8 Ball. I think they put up a ton of points as well. And let's go to Monday night. Rams at San Francisco. San Francisco team just cost us a lot of money this year. They got all kinds of issues. Rams 4-point favorites on the road. Totals at 49, which seems a little high to me. Dave Mason from BetOnline. Are they betting this one yet? Is it still a little too early?
They're betting the Rams. This is going to be a whopper. I mean, like 80% of the early actions on the Rams. -4. So yeah, we're going to be huge Niners fans Monday night. Biggest game of the week.
Let's go to Rooster first. Rooster, who you like here?
It seems like a trap game for me. We were talking about this earlier in the week with the Saints game. I mean, the Niners have no business covering this game, honestly, when I looked at the metrics, but the line is telling me 49ers. Like they're begging you to bet the Rams, especially when it was down to 3.5. I mean, even at -4, I'm taking the 49ers at home +4. This is suspect.
Yeah, you're right about that. Sheep loves the Raiders +3 large. So you got some more opposition on that, Rooster.
Good. Tell him 2 more pies. He's up to 6 now. I'm going to be eating pizza now for 3 months.
Let's go to 8-ball. 8-ball, who do you like in this one?
I like the Niners here at home. I mean, it's basically their Super Bowl here. It's win or go home. I do think the Rams, might take this game by, 2 or 3 points. But I think Niners +4 at home in the biggest game of the year for them. They can't afford another loss here. I think it's the right side.
Let me go to Maddie from the College Kids. You got an opinion on this one?
I haven't bet it, but yeah, I do like San Fran +4 division game. And you know how these division games are. These teams know each other. They played each other so many times. Yeah, I like San Fran +4. As 8-ball said, it could be a 3-point game. You get that 4. It's going to be key.
Batman, did you make a move on this show?
Kyle Shanahan
He sucks.
owns Sean McVay. Just look at the numbers. He absolutely stone cold owns him. This is a scheme thing. San Francisco wins. They win the game. And I even took an alternative -3.5 at +260.
Wow. All right, let's go to Thursday night. Dave Mason from Bet Online. Ravens in Miami here. See some 8.5s, 9 at Bet Online, -05. Totals at 46.5. How are they betting this one, Dave?
Yeah, we're starting off the week with a massive, massive liability. 78% of the cash is on the Ravens. Currently -9. 85% of the cash is on the Ravens outright at -415. And 85% of the teaser on the Ravens as well. Over-unders 50-50.
So you need to fish bad, huh?
Yes, we do.
Rooster, you on the fish here, or are you looking to take Lamar Jackson?
I mean, at this number, if I could have laid 7, I would have laid 7. Now we're talking about 8.5. I'm going to have a peanut on the dog just to watch the game. They are home. I am scared to death of Miami. I mean, they're bad. But I'm going to have a small bet on the Dolphins just to watch the game. And, Dave, I'll be rooting right with you.
All right, buddy.
8-ball, how you betting this one?
I like Miami here. They're at home. They still have a solid defense. They played well last week against Houston. I know how bad they are, but they also played well against Buffalo the week before. I think they stay in this game and they cover the number.
Maddie from the College Kids, you got an opinion on this one?
Yeah, the Ravens are laying too much on the road, in my opinion. I actually found a +10, -123, and I bet that. I love the Dolphins with the points.
Batman, who do you like?
Well, kind of some of those emails I share with you periodically. I got another one. and it's on the same side as Dave Mason. It's an open order for every person to bet as much as they want on the Ravens because they took a position on the dog. Miami +9 is a play for me tonight, and it's rather large. I like it.
Yeah, I love Miami as well, +9. I think this number is just a little too high. And that's about it, man. We wrapped it up. Let me go to Rooster. Rooster, you got any bonus plays in college football? You've been tearing it up. Do you like anyone this week to give out for people listening?
Yeah, I like a few games. I guess we missed one tonight. I'm on North Carolina. It just started. We got to the college earlier. I would have gave it out. But I like Penn State a lot this week. I laid 1. Let me see what it's up, what the line is now. Yeah, it actually went the other way. There's Michigan money. So you can take 1.5 on Penn State. I like Penn State.
Let me go to Batman. Batman, you got any bonus moves or any UFC for everyone out there?
I don't have any UFC yet. I'm still looking at all that stuff. I'm trying to kind of dial that in. I've been so busy with the NFL and some other stuff this week. I'll be looking at some of that a little coming up there. When Penn State hit 2 in my market, I bought it just like Rooster did. I think that's one of the better college football moves this week. I took Carolina +7 tonight. Hopefully they show up, and I think it's going to be a great football game tonight up there too as well.
Hey, Paul, you got any of those legendary NBA picks, man? You're the NBA specialist. Or you got any bonus moves in college football?
No NBA, but college basketball tomorrow. I love Western Kentucky over Minnesota.
Maddie from the College Kids, anything extra for everyone?
Yeah, we have some college basketball today. Arizona State under 139. We got some others. San Jose State, some other games. Let me check. I have a college football game too. South Alabama under 53. That's another one.
I like game 147, NC State. I took 3 on the game. They're playing Wake Forest. I think NC State rolls on that team. And that's about it. I want to thank everyone for watching, for listening. Thank you, Dave Mason from Bet Online. If you want to tell everyone where they can find you.
At Dave Mason, BOL on Twitter. Get on over to betonline.ag. Hit up the promos page. We'll have all sorts of different bonuses for you. Have everything from 50% to 100%. So check it out.
Rooster, you got any closing thoughts on Sheep not being able to navigate the internet and the World Wide Web?
My only closing thoughts are that I've known him since 1982, and this does not surprise me at all. I think by week 17, we may get him for a full 5-minute stretch, and then I will be impressed.
All right, I got Sheep's moves for everyone out there. He likes the over in Baltimore, Saints +3 large, over 55, if I'm reading this correctly, Raiders +3 large, Minnesota +3 large, Green Bay -3 large, and over 48 in the Packers game. And that wraps up another show. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and we'll be back next week.
Have a good one. Thanks.